I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, August the 20th, brought to you in part by Real Max 360. Feed the bugs in the rumen. Available in lick tubs, loose mineral, or range cubes. For more information, go to realmax.net. The rally continues. It's really unbelievable how strong and resilient these cattle markets have been. I mean, yeah, we'd like to see higher levels maybe, but we really can't complain about the market. We've seen some big strides here, especially on these feeder cattle. The guys that sold their yearling, grass yearlings, for the most part got along pretty good. We're starting to see these weaned calves, your fall calves, selling really good, and then we've got new crops coming behind them. The early signs are they're going to be pretty good, but guys have got to start adding some value to those. The days of topping the market with ball and calves sorted at delivery date are kind of gone now, where people are wanting programs on them. They're wanting them long time weaned, and I don't mean 30 days or maybe even 45, talking like 60 days weaned, and they're wanting programs on those calves too. So if you want to get those, achieve those really top prices, that's what you're going to have to do. But look at our fat cattle market. We're up $10 now in just a month, and that's really impressive. And your packers continue to kind of support the cash because they know that that NCBA outfit that are doing that test to kind of test the market. They're going to hire their own researchers and go in there and kind of see how much price transparency is in there. And so your packers are kind of wanting to go ahead and continue to show good faith like they have been kind of all the way through the COVID and participate in cash, and they're not putting up too big of a fight for higher prices. And yeah, that's what we wanted, but they're going to continue to kind of do that until the avenue to push minimum cash requirement, that ship sails. So that's mandatory price reporting. It's up for reauthorization next month, guys. That's what the USDA investigative report said that we could use to monitor and oversee and enforce a minimum cash requirement. So that lasts for 5 years, and if they get that reauthorization pushed through, then your packers won't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff for another 5 years. So they'll go ahead and kind of play along with the game here for a while. But let's look at the board on Wednesday. August live cattle futures up 75 cents at 107.47. October up 95 at 110.82. You go on your out fronts there, with down 22 cents to up 85. So the most action was in your nearbys there. August feeder cattle up 32 cents at 143.55. September up 40 at 146 even. If you go on out on your out fronts on feeder cattle, down 55 cents, and that was the farthest out traded contract, to up 45. The fat cattle trade continued to see kind of moderate trade on Wednesday. We've already seen trade, but I would say every area still needs to trade more. Kansas has traded the most by far, but we still need to see more trade out of Nebraska and Texas for sure. You look at confirmed sales on Wednesday. Iowa 2,600 head, 107 was the live price. 169 to 170 dressed, and we haven't seen a lot of dressed trade yet, but that 170 is tops, and that's really not much higher than what we saw at the top of the price range last week. So your Northern Plains guys that normally sell dressed are wanting them to step it up. 172 or 3 would probably trade a lot of cattle. Nebraska 400 head confirmed only, and a few of them at 170 there. Kansas 5,400 head continue to be the heaviest volume out of the 5 area feeding region. 106 live price, and they all traded there. Texas getting 106 also. That's fully $2 higher for them. 4,200 head there for them. Box beef cutout values continue to increase, and we've just seen huge gains here on your box beef. Your packers have so much more control over the price selling price of their product that they're selling than your cattle people do. But they're turning the crank up and forcing these buyers to pay higher prices, and they're carrying all the cards pretty much, because they're having to pay higher prices on fed cattle, and then they were getting down where they were only making $200 or $300 a head, heaven forbid, so they needed to step that up a little bit. Choice cuts on Wednesday afternoon, $223.04, that was up $2.18 for the day. Selects $205.65, up $1. Your slaughter pretty brisk so far this week, 351,000 through Wednesday. That's 4,000 more than last week and 1,000 more than the same week a year ago. Looking at what's happening here on Thursday, Bluegrass Stockyard South in Stanford, Kentucky's got a huge sale. You might want to get on and watch that sale on dvauction.com. You can watch it right there, see what kind of market they get there, and more so see what the kind of yearlings that they're putting together there in Kentucky. And I tell you what, there'll be some impressive quotes there that I'll give you on our next visit, but you might want to pay attention to that sale there in Stanford, Kentucky. How about some of our markets here on Wednesday? Real-time index on DV Auction late on Wednesday was sitting at 142.90. That was up 84 cents, continuing to climb, but still not as high as what the spot feeder cattle futures are, sitting over 143.5. Those will come together. They're not too far apart right now, and they can make that happen pretty fast there when we get later into the month. Your big sales on Wednesday, of course, El Reno, OKC West, 5,800 head for the two-day sale there. And their runs are starting to wane down a little bit. We're not seeing quite as many grass yearlings, and we're not seeing too many calves come to town yet, because they just don't have enough fall calvers in that part of the country. You get on later into fall, and then we'll start seeing the new crop calves make it into town. But just pretty light right now. Your feeder steers were $2 to $5 higher at El Reno. That's significant, because they have gained so much ground here over the last 6-8 weeks. But $2 to $5 higher this week on Wednesday compared to just last week. Feeder heifers were about steady, and the calves that were on hand on Tuesday were fully steady. Look at the big quote on a big string of steers in El Reno on Wednesday. 266 head, 877 pound steers bring 141.60. How about Dodge City, Kansas? Had about 1,800 head there, $1 to $4 higher. I tell you what, the hot sale on Wednesday was up in Yankton, South Dakota at Stockman's Livestock Market there. Had almost 5,000 head of cattle, and I tried to pull out some individual quotes. There was too many of them. And in fact, your weighted averages on all the cattle within these different weight groups are big enough. Those weighted average prices are big enough to call it an outstanding sale. So I just thought I'd show you this automated market report. Only place you'll see Stockman's Livestock Market out of Yankton. The only place you'll see their market report quoted, other than if they pay for it themselves. But look at these big quotes here on steers. 456 head of 7-weight steers, average 754. 157.45 on the weighted average price on all of them. We didn't pluck just the very best ones. That's on all of them they had on offer. 368 head of 8-weight steers, averaged 857 at 146.91. How about 1,077 head of 9-weight steers, Yankton, South Dakota? They averaged 943 at 138.90. Now the heifers, the biggest groups there, 452 head of 6-weight heifers, average 651 at 152.54 heifers. 498 head of 7-weight heifers, average 747 at 144.60, and really an outstanding sale. We've talked about them before, but we've talked about what a good fat cattle auction that they have there every week, but they also have an outstanding feeder cattle auction, and congratulations to them for a big impressive sale there. How about some other impressive quotes? How about Bloomfield Livestock Market in Bloomfield, Iowa? The Schoolies up there had an outstanding quote there. 68 head of 806 pound steers bring 151.25 But the top quote that I saw anywhere come out of my old stomping grounds, St. Joe Stockyard, St. Joseph, Missouri, the last river market still operating, guys. Of course, it's operating just like a sale barn, but it's the last one still going. They can still get the big prices there. I was up there last week. They had a kind of an off week and a short sale, which left us way too much time for the cattlemen's meeting and way too much to catch up on. So I ended up with a headache on Thursday of last week. Going to feel a lot better here this Thursday. But St. Joe Stockyards, how about the Andy Service cattle there? 51 head, 626 pound steers, bring $174. St. Joe Stockyards. How about this big string of feeder heifers, the Bohea cattle, 127 head of them, weigh 763 pounds, black girls now, 141.85. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.